Not saying what he's going to do, what he plans on delivering, how he's going to fix something or make anything any better for you, for me, for anybody else. He's just doing a fucking PR stunt with this redistricting vote. But in essence, if we're being honest, it's something that at the end goal ends up diminishing like the vote of Republican citizens in that state. Is all that it ends up doing.
What a way to, bro, my head is spinning right now. 2 minutes ago, you were saying how this is kind of necessary. Now he's like, well, we're just taking votes away from Republicans. Well, this is like, no shit. The title of the stream is Huck Futch, as told by Ogreboy Twain and other short stories. By the way, he called me Sparklehead. This person who looks like Brainiac from the DC comments or the comics. He looks like the fucking villain in the Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie villain, the Thinker. He looks like the Thinker, man. I'm telling you, tell me you don't see it. I'm about to blow your mind, dude. Right? You can't unsee it now. He called me Sparklehead or something like that. Like, what did he call me? Hold on. He called me Sparklehead. I'm like, dude, who are you fooling with this? Hutch is real quiet on the bald allegations. That's true. I'm just hoping that one blows over. I'll just stream through it. I deny the bald allegations. No, I'm not here to argue with you. We're just going to stream through it.
Let's get to some good old-fashioned Hutch hate, shall we?
Look, also... Oh, wait, you can't even see it. Hold on. He's also using my phrase that I started. That's exciting news. We started a phrase called the Black Pill Left. He's using my phrase. Look at that. He's using it. Look, the point is, ladies and gentlemen, your boy still relevant. We're still making headlines. We're the top of the name at the marquee in the Ogreboy Theater. You know, he let him trickle in for 48 minutes until he started to react to my shit.
Shall we? Newsom. He's doing Trumpian shit. He's behaving like Trump in order to get attention. The gerrymandering thing, I think, is whatever. I'm kind of mid. I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I think that there's a legitimate attempt to try to show the fault in something. I think we've started on a race to the bottom as far as Texas trying to gerrymander further. So California is now going to gerrymander. I think there was a story I saw earlier today talking about how Kansas is responding. I think it was Kansas, and they're in turn talking about they want to set down that road as well. I think the issue becomes and I'm not trying to make a dirty pun here, but like, when is the pullout point? When do you finally go, okay, enough is enough? Or do we just at this point completely gut voting for like every state in the nation? I don't.
We're not the ones that determine this. Gavin Newsom is responding to an aggressive gerrymander map in Texas. And so if Kansas retaliates for California, who are retaliating for Texas, then maybe New York gets involved, and maybe we do a map in New York. Like, we're not the ones. Like, they can stop. We can do a ceasefire right now. Okay, they're the ones who tried to fucking cheat and rig the game and get 5 more seats before next year's midterms. So to ask the question, like, when is enough enough? It's like, well, I mean, do you want to just let Republicans, give themselves like 5 or 6 seats?
I don't know what the end game looks like. I'm also not giving Newsom any kind of big time thumbs up credit, because essentially he's doing like a PR push and fighting, but not for anything. Not really. It's a power play, and
this is why I'm like, just on a petty level, just on a purely petty level. Like, honestly, I hope that Newsom is the guy. Can somebody else pin that for me in Twitch, because it's not letting me do it. Sometimes it gives me an error. I can't do it. Thank you very much, Mira. Appreciate that. I love the fact that Newsom is just fucking crushing it right now. Wait, hold on. What is going on? All right, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. It's fine. Whatever. I forgot what we were talking about. Let's get back to it.
Cool and all, and we need more of that, but it needs to be tied to like, here's how we make something better when we're done. And I haven't seen that yet. Maybe I'm missing something.
You are. We tried to pass 2 different bills to address elections in this country, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, and then there was another bill from the Senate. It banned gerrymandering. It was blocked by the Republicans. You haven't seen it because you exist in an echo chamber where nobody ever talks about like legitimate democratic, like good things that they've done. Like you're not exposed to that stuff unless you actively seek it out, which you don't because you're just convinced that people like Gavin Newsom are no different from like Nikki Haley, right?
Something that's very likely and very possible, but that to me is like concerning a little bit. Not a lot. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this, but like that's one of the aspects of this I think is like it's missing a puzzle piece. Of course. So anytime that someone besmirches the Democratic Party or liberalism in general or liberals in general, my bald nemesis has to, as I like to call him, evil Ogreboy, needs to speak up and do reacts to that. So in turn, I will do reacts to him. So you're about to see someone.
Guess what, motherfucker? You just got reacted to. I can do this all day. We can go 9 layers deep, 10 layers deep, whatever you want to do. I have the stamina. You will never get the last laugh. By the end of this thing, I'm going to have to like crop an image so that it's only just a tiny portion of the screen because there's just going to be fucking chat all over the screen.
React to someone reacting to someone, and it's going to be weird. Let's just let it rip.
What Hasan has to say about Gavin Newsom, to give you a sort of contrast in the coverage. They are going to fight this. Crap, it doesn't work. Listen to me. They are going to fight Gavin Newsom tooth and nail. I think if Gavin Newsom, oh my God, you guys, can you imagine?
He had an open, Dark Gavin Newsom, such a loser. He had an open Discord, and I say it's open because I'm no longer allowed there. I'm a little argumentative if you haven't caught on, and I popped off in his chat because I basically mocked one of his statements he made about the No Kings protest in LA. So that got, and then he told me he was going to ban me for 24 hours in his chat, and I told him to eat shit and make it perma. I don't give a fuck. That I wasn't apologizing. And then, so that happened, and then I just got banned like everywhere, which is fine. I don't get, like, that's not.
Whoa. We got a badass over here.
I don't, that doesn't bother me. But there's 3 different videos on his channel where it's just me arguing with him. I never cammed up. The last time I'm kind of regretting that now because I think it would have been funny. But that's the lore. I think he goes way too far to try and he goes too far to completely absolve or pretend like establishment Democrats are without fault in the current moment that we're in. I think that's how you lose people. I think if you act like the emperor is wearing clothes, you know what I mean? Like if you try to say that they are flawless deities who have only been failed and cannot fail, you are going to turn people away from voting for them. Whereas if you admit that, like, hey, here's some areas where they fucked up and here's some areas where they need to improve, but ultimately they're still the best game that we have right now as far as trying to keep things from getting worse. I think there's a conversation you can have there.
That's literally like my fucking entire brand. Just for the record. This is literally like my entire brand of politics.
Where you don't deny the shit that people can see with their own 2 eyes. And in turn, you can keep them willing to go to the voting booths when you need them to. Otherwise, you just go, okay, all these, like, somebody could look at what he does specifically and have the mentality of like, these people are all fucking delusional. None of this matters. I don't know why I'm even bothering. Nothing's getting better. And then they don't turn out to vote at all. Whereas if you admit where some of the problems lie and you admit where they fuck up, but that you still stress the importance of showing up to vote anyway, I think you can get people to begrudgingly turn out to vote when they're really fed up with how things are being handled. The shorter list would be what are they not fucking up on, but we're not gonna. We got a lot of video to watch, so we're not gonna hold things up that bad. We'll just get into it, and as these things come up, we can talk about it.
If Gavin Newsom becomes the nominee, guys, I could see about 1,000 ways where that is going to go very south. I think Gavin Newsom represents to these people, represents everything they hate about Democratic Party politics. They hate this guy, okay?
Yeah, because he's a fucking corporatist, like through and through. There's nothing there that he stands on.
Never mind the fact that he is just like, without a doubt, maybe the most progressive governor we've ever had of any state ever. Like, never mind the fact that this guy has passed more progressive policies, has signed more progressive bills into law than any other governor in the fucking United States history. They're just going to forget all that.
There's nothing there that you look at and you just don't see.
But he's not like an anti-capitalist, you know. So like just the fact that he's not an anti-capitalist, well, that immediately means that he's a corporatist, which if you asked Ogreboy at the top of his head, can you name me 3 bills that Gavin Newsom has signed into law? I don't think he would be able to tell you a single one. Which is pretty remarkable, because if you're gonna cast judgment on someone like Newsom, if you're gonna determine if he's worthy of your vote or anything, like, you should probably familiarize yourself with what they do or what they did in the state of California. But no.
Like a slick back 80.
The conversation around the trans issue was like the thing that really got me to like. The conversation around the trans thing is like so like he did a podcast with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk asked him about like trans people in sports, and Newsom does a quick little 1 to 2 minute rant about how the fairness in sports issue is a legitimate cause for concern that people have, you know, putting him in line with like 80% of people, right? Like I have my position on the trans sports thing, but I also recognize it's an 80-20 issue, and we have way bigger fish to fry than talking about something that affects like maybe fucking 3 dozen people in the entire country. So because he moderated, and then I think also in that podcast, he was like, I got a lot of questions about the trans thing. Like when I first started hearing about it, it was like, whoa, what are these pronouns things? So I'm learning, you know, and he does this, he gesticulates a lot. So it's like, there's a lot of that stuff going on. But then he buttoned it up by correctly centering the conversation about the real crisis when it comes to trans people, which is the mental health crisis, like the amount of trans people, the percentage of trans people that have attempted self-harm or actually or think about self-harm. You know, that's the real problem that we should be focusing on as a fucking country, and as, you know, that's for sure what politicians should be focused on. But because of that one clip in his conversation with Charlie Kirk, all these fucking lefties, they think they know everything about Newsom now, and so they're getting on Twitter and they're saying that he threw trans people under the bus, when the dude signed like over 10 fucking bills into law in the state of California, like bills that went a long way to literally protecting trans people, protecting trans kids from abuse or from being outed against their consent. We made California literally like a sanctuary state for parents that have trans kids that want to take their kids to a state and get gender affirming care. Like, we provide that care. It's like it's codified into law. Like, he actually went out and fought for trans people and delivered for trans people in a way that no other governor has. Like, without a doubt, passed the most progressive policies and the largest volume of policies. And these people are like, he fucking hates trans people and wants to murder homeless people. These people are unbelievable.
He's like stockbroker guy. There's nothing else to that dude. So
stockbroker guy, there's nothing else to that dude. You don't want to talk about anything he's actually done in the state of California. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the extent of their analysis is fucking embarrassing.
Yes, right out of the gate, nobody's lining up to put faith into this dude that he's going to do right by anybody.
As much as they hate Pete Buttigieg right now, and they fucking hate Pete, if Newsom became the nominee, they're gonna revolt. Okay, they are gonna revolt.
And I worry that the most effective way to reach the broadest audience is going to be seen as this Trumpian style bullshit.
Okay, there you go.
I don't support a party. I support the politician and the things that they stand for. Like, that's it. I don't have team affiliation in that respect. Like, it turns out that I lean more in the direction of Democrats. Yes, I've never met a Republican that I've been like, that's a good dude, or that's a good person in general. You should go vote for them. That hasn't happened yet. But it's not like I'm sitting there just looking to make the distinction between somebody with a blue jersey and somebody with a red jersey.
It's not about blind partisan loyalty for me. I'm a pragmatic person. I'm a pragmatic guy. If the Democratic Party tomorrow imploded and some new party came up and they were the only party that could take on MAGA and potentially prevent MAGA from being the party in power, then I would support that party. It has nothing to do with any kind of like loyalty to any one particular Democrat or the institution on the whole. It's just a simple fact of, we have a first past the post election system in this country when it comes to presidents. We have kind of a backwards bicameral situation where the Senate, I mean, it's just a fucking mess when it comes to the Senate and the Electoral College. And the Democratic Party is straight up the only party in town that can prevent the Republicans from being handed power. And I mean, I would go further than that. I would say that there are a lot of like really good things that the Democratic Party does. Like, I don't view it as like, oh, it's like 98% Hitler. I think that the Democratic Party are, you know, as far as national policies and stuff like that, they're to my right. Locally in California, representation in the Assembly and the state Senate, that's like closer to my politics in terms of like policy prescriptions and stuff. But nationally, you know, it's going to be to my right a little bit. I just accept that because I understand that not every state is going to be like California. And, you know, sometimes the best you can get is like Fetterman in Pennsylvania. And I just make peace with that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should principally be loyal to the Democratic Party out of like some partisan bend. That's not what this is all about. That's what people like him, I don't think like in that fat fucking head of his, this big brained man right here. I take that back. I'm going to stop doing that. He doesn't seem to understand that perspective. Like, he just doesn't get it. Like, that doesn't compute for him at all. Like, it's for him, he just translates everything into whatever confirms his pre-existing narrative.
That's not my politics. That's not how I look at the world.
Hang on a second. First of all, did Hasan not do that as well? Like, the way he titles his stream name?
Wait, the fuck?
Is going to be seen as this Trumpian style bullshit. Where
okay. There you go. Hang on a second. First of all, did Hasan not do that as well? Is he going to stick up for me? He titles his stream names. The way he used to do the announcements on Twitter that he was going live, like all caps, like obviously parodying Trump.
He's been doing that since like 2018, jackass. What is this?
That's my point. That's literally my point. Like, that's obviously my point. How do you miss that? You were right, jackass. He's actually been doing this for 7 years, you fucking jackass. That thing that you said he did, he's actually been doing that for 7 years. Like, how do you not? Does he need ADD meds? What's going on here?
What is this nod that he's trying to like wink towards his audience to suggest?
Not do the same kind of fifth grader insult stuff, like the stupid little plays on words with people's names. Gruesome Newsom. He does the same Trumpian thing.
No, he's doing the same thing that Sam Cedar does, whom he admits is his real uncle. Sam will intentionally forget people's last names or say their last name wrong. Fucking, and the other thing that he does with Destiny is...
No, it's very obvious that Hasan does like the Trumpy nicknames because he's trying to emulate Trump in a form of parody. That's very obviously what he's doing. Actually, he got that from Sam Cedar. Who believes that? Like, who honestly believes that?
Norm Finkelstein fucked Destiny's name up 97 times in a 4-hour conversation, and he's been playing with that ever since. It's not because he's trying...
No, bro. He's been doing the stupid nicknames thing well before the Norm Finkelstein Destiny debate. Like, I don't watch every Hasan stream, or I don't like see all of his tweets, but he's been doing this for years, bro. What are you even talking about?
Jesus Christ.
He does the same kind of satire, and now he's, I guess, pretending like he's above it. Is that what he's actually doing here?
And I worry that the most effective way to reach the broadest audience is going to be seen as this Trumpian style bullshit, where Gavin Newsom would be like, oh, people are yelling at me because I evacuated homeless people. I tell them I an order. That's why I cleared out the camps.
California have figured out
he grabbed this from the shitty AI channel. The Hasanabi archive was one that I stopped grabbing shit from because the AI cuts in the video are so fucking bad. Like, that's where he got this from. That's funny.
Entertaining way to deal with Donald Trump at his own rhetorical level. They've got a new social media strategy that is both, I gotta say, pretty damn funny and I think extremely effective, mocking the president with a spot-on impression of his very weird communication style. Since Newsom jumped into the ongoing redistricting fight, his official Twitter account has been posting Trump style.
Are libs eating this stuff? I feel like they are.
They are. And the other thing, too,
yeah, they are.
This entire time, everybody's been like,
yeah, we are.
A better president who doesn't tweet as mean. And now, as opposed to addressing the things like Trump's cutting of infrastructure, social safety nets, federal jobs, all this shit, as opposed to addressing that, bringing it to people's attention.
They did. What do you mean? What are you even talking about? I fucking... These guys, man, I think it betrays just how much of a bubble they exist in. They're completely unaware that prominent Democrats all over the country for sure sounded the alarm about the Medicaid cuts and all the other like USAID cuts and these guys, like they talked about this all the time. They tweet about it all the time. They talk about it in the media all the time. They're constantly talking about this, but they're out of power. So like, what can they do? They can't do anything about it. Like if they have the votes to pass a one big beautiful bill, Democrats can't block it. Like do they really not know? I just don't understand how you could cover politics and cover people like, you know, Democratic politicians, and you just like, I guess you just don't like watch any actual coverage of these people. You don't listen to any interviews from these people. You don't like look at any of their tweets or nothing.
Pointing out how you would do something different. No. We're just going to tweet exactly the same way, just to do celebrity politician trying to mock celebrity politician. There's no substance there whatsoever. This isn't what anybody meant by Democrats need to fight.
No. First of all, yes, it is. First of all. Second of all, there's substance. What are we talking about? Like we're passing we are going to amend our state constitution to allow for earlier redistricting to counteract a Texas gerrymander. Like, what do you mean there's no substance? We're changing our constitution. Like, what could be more substantive than that? I guess like a national constitution? Wait, is he in Los Angeles? Is he a California native? That's even worse. If you live in California and you just, okay, whatever.
The whole idea was you fight for something. Republicans fight for tax cuts. Republicans fight to do culture war shit so that they can find some pocket of our society to tell you that it's their fault, that everything's fucked, and that if you put them in power, they'll demonize them and they'll punish them. Just
what's he doing, guys? What's he doing? There's a term that I like to use a lot these days. What's he doing? It's like a subcategory. There's a thing that I've been talking about a lot. There you go, sham. They're doing reverse Green Lantern. That's what they're doing. They're painting an inaccurate picture about the Republican Party, and they're saying the Republicans, they do everything. They never have any problems getting stuff done. Anything and everything that Donald Trump demands, that gets done. Never mind the fact that the Senate parliamentarians struck down like 6 provisions of the one big beautiful bill. Let's just forget about that, right? It's an essential part of their pitch. They have to establish this fiction because they think it's going to make them more palatable, even though there's no evidence of this. Like they've been doing this for years now. They have been doing this for years now, and they think strategically it makes sense. Or I don't know if they're doing it consciously as a kind of like subterfuge, a kind of deception, or if they actually have deluded themselves into actually believing the things that they say. But here's the pitch. The Republican Party, they're all powerful. Donald Trump gets everything that he wants. He perfectly whips every single vote on every single issue. There's no guardrails anymore. He's just doing everything that he wants, and there's no one that's stopping them. And then the Democrats, they're just completely weak, and they don't do anything. And then he just, you know, he does this thing where he just doesn't acknowledge like amending a state constitution, I guess. And then the follow-up is like, this is why we're better. This is why we need to reforge the Democratic Party in our image. Like, come over to the leftist side because we're the ones that are going to fight. But it all rests on these lies. It's just a lie. It's just a wild distortion of reality. And in this case, it's a reverse Green Lantern. So all-powerful Republicans, weak and feckless Democrats, you know, we're the better alternative. They keep doing this as though they think it's going to work, but it's just not working. Like so far, like they've been doing this for years, and it hasn't yielded any fucking positive results for them.
For existing, which Trump has been able to do, and the Republicans have done, especially to trans people. Like, but outside of that, that's what they fight for. We want to see somebody fight.
He's complaining about the things that Donald Trump has done to trans people, but he's not going to mention any of the fucking dozen bills, like pro-trans bills that Gavin Newsom signed into law in California. That seems kind of strange.
In the same way, with the same ruthlessness, but do it for like improving fucking material conditions, day-to-day lives of people. And instead, you just get a guy that tweets the same as Trump, but with no end goal of tied to it, a promise of what he's going to improve. That's why this is bullshit. Like a lot of this is like,
dog, it's 2025. Like what do you, and first of all, like, what do you think he needs to, like, Gavin Newsom's already the governor. Like, he's already the governor. Like, there's so much time between now until the presidential primaries. Are you saying that Newsom, instead of doing the funny tweets, which everyone is talking about, so obviously it's working, everyone is talking about Gavin Newsom's tweets. All the lefties are talking, Bill Maher's talking about him, all the right-wing pundits are talking about it, Fox News is talking about it, literally everyone is talking about it. It's literally working exactly as it was designed. And you're saying instead of that, he should go out there and talk about like Medicare for all every day? Like, give me a fucking break.
I don't care about what Newsom is doing.
It sucks.
Wait, why don't you care? That seems crazy, right?
I hate it. It's
Of what he's going to improve. That's why this is bullshit. Like a lot of this is like, I don't care. I don't care about what Newsom is doing.
it sucks. I hate it. It's one of those things where
They have to take this contrarian position where it's like, it's not that funny. It's not that cool. You know, everyone is fucking having a good time with this thing. With the Newsom stuff. Like even right wingers are like, okay, that's fair. You know, that's a good troll. And he has to take this position. It's like, whatever, man. It's like not that funny. It's not that cool. So it's like, whatever.
Shit so much.
You don't. You do the same thing. You do the same.
Also, even if I did want to agree, and I don't,
You should.
Hasan is trying to do Trump shit because he saw Trump doing it.
He is.
Or he's doing it, or he wants to do it.
He is.
Like if I granted him this premise, there's a difference between a commentator and a podcaster that also does like dick and fart jokes mixed in with his commentary. There's a difference between that and somebody that's running for office that holds power.
Even if I wanted to grant that Hasan is emulating Trump, you know, it's based when Hasan does it, but it's not based when Gavin Newsom does it. Okay, bud.
That makes decisions for millions, if not several hundred million people on a day-to-day basis. That's where you don't want to see that. There's a spectrum there where you're okay with, you should and could be okay with one vice the other.
Thing. At least you used to. He's so full of shit, bro. There has to be an example of like, I wonder if he like clutched his pearls over Jasmine Crockett, you know, doing dark woke stuff. Would he be clutching his pearls if that was her doing it? Probably not, right? Like, I don't know what you do now, but for a while there, whenever he would announce that he was going live, he would do it. He would do it like in all caps, like Donald Trump, right?
The blast off tweet, and he still does it.
Quite the same thing, but I mean, but he's been doing like the same kind of like Trump, but on the left. That's a parody. He's been doing that for years. He's been doing
Yeah, he also turns around and tweets all in lowercase sometimes, has fucked up pronunciation, or not pronunciation, but fucked up grammar and spelling and shit. That's not him trying to emulate Trump. That's just him being a fucking himbo.
It's the same thing with like the nicknames, stupid little nicknames, the stupid little Trumpian nicknames. He got that straight from Trump. And now he's like, oh, I fucking hate this.
He's like, hey, you know how communities do internet memes? That's just him copying Trump, really, is what it is. Source, trust me, it's vibes. Trust me. And actually, I'm 99% positive he'd already heard Destiny say the same shit.
Oh my God. Bro! God damn. It never ends, bro. It never ends, man. All roads lead back to Destiny one way or the other. It's either Destiny or Gaza. Whatever thing they're analyzing in the moment, it's going to lead to either Destiny or Gaza, and in many cases both. But it always ends up going back there. I almost never watched Destiny stuff. In the last in 2025, he reacted to some stuff on Live and Learn, and I watched a couple moments of his commentary on that because I wanted to understand what was, because there was a bunch of discourse going on about that at the time, and that's it. I don't follow him on Twitter. I don't watch his streams. I don't watch his VODs. Their minds. He's such a boogeyman in these people's minds that they cannot conceive of somebody independently coming to a conclusion about something outside of Destiny's influence. They just can't. And it's because, by the way, this is massive projection, by the way. It's because they think about Destiny every fucking day. Do you guys understand? People like Ogreboy, I'm sure if I went to his Twitter feed, there's going to be posts about either Destiny or Ethan Klein every fucking single day. They are unironically obsessed with Destiny in the way that they think people like me are. I don't spend my time watching Destiny shit. I'm not up to date on the lore, but he is, because he's thinking he is obsessed every fucking day. And then they just project that on people that they disagree with. They just assume everybody's like them and obsessively watches Destiny. That lawyer dude with 5 months, keep being awesome, Hutch. Also, thank you for not having any weird scandals to distract from the stream. Well, that depends on how you look at things. The split stream situation, bit of a scandal, apparently. Shitting my pants in my Tesla, little scandalous. I feel like if I hadn't met Esme and settled down, then I might have done some reckless shit. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying I would have done what other people are doing, but I met her when I was 31 years old, and I was kind of doing some reckless shit back then. Not anything like what we're seeing now, but like, I don't know. I met her, I settled down, and everything changed. Just, you know, I don't really have much of a story to my day-to-day life is not very like I'm not out here like exchanging DMs with people in my like I try to keep like a healthy distance between me and my community, you know? Like I don't interact too much on the Discord because I've just found that for me that's the best way to do it for me. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing if a creator is constantly interacting with their audience. I don't know if that's me being judgy, but I just feel like when you remove those boundaries, there's a higher risk of bad things happening. It's nothing personal. I'm just saying like I think that's probably the best way to do content. Part of it had to do with like the intra-community civil war that happened like shortly after Biden got inaugurated, and there was like a revolt, you know, for you new viewers, there was like a revolt in my community at that time, which was just Twitch. But I was going to bat for Biden because I was saying like, hang on a second, a lot of these criticisms are fucking stupid. And so there was this revolt, and I remember feeling at the time like I'm too involved in this. Like I'm trying to, like in my Discord, trying to defend myself, and it all felt very. I felt too close to it. It felt not appropriate for the situation at all, and so that was like one of the reasons why I think it's better to not just constantly be like interacting with your off stream, like constantly be interacting with your own community in that way. I think that's not I don't think that's healthy. I just don't. How many times have we seen a situation like that blow up? Like how many creators? How many times does it need to happen before people understand that that's probably not a great idea? There's like exceptions to the rule too, which is like I don't think there's a hard and fast rule here because, you know, Chilled Chaos met his wife. Are they married? Girlfriend? He met Jess close to 15 years ago, and she was in his community, and now they've been together for like 13 years. So am I going to call that bad? Am I going to go back in time and say you shouldn't do that? You know? So I don't know. I think it just really depends. But generally speaking, I don't think it's a good idea to no harem. No, I did not have a harem. I don't know how did we even get on that? I think that's like one of the reasons why like I'm not, you know, I'm involved in drama sometimes, like personal beef with other creators, but there's never any scandals because I'm just not. I settled down. That's what happened. I settled down. I got domesticated. Very happy in my relationship. I don't crave anything outside of my relationship. Got together with someone who's, you know, my best friend, and I got a lot of shit out of my system when I was in my 20s. I had a phase where I was just fully debaucherous, and it was like, you know what? I'm just going to say yes to everything. And then you end up at a fucking sex party in San Francisco dressed up like a lion for a farm-themed party. And I thought a lion was the way to go. It made sense at the time. Looking back, probably turned a lot of heads. What the fuck is a lion doing at a goddamn farm party? Why would a lion be on a farm? Maybe it was a farm in Africa. I got a lot of stuff out of my system when I was in my fucking 20s, and thankfully I don't feel like curious about those things in the same way because I've experienced a lot of weird shit and it was fine, you know. I got more vanilla as I got older. I don't crave those things. Anyways, basically I'm better than other creators, I think is what I'm trying to say. Strategically and as a person, I am better, is what I'm saying.
Destiny's been saying the same thing.
It's these dumb libs are eating, bro.
And actually, I'm 99% positive he'd already heard Destiny say the same shit.
Dude.
Destiny's been saying the same thing.
Dude, what if Destiny was like, hey, the sky is pretty fucking blue. Has anyone ever noticed that before? I looked up in the sky today. Turns out, pretty fucking blue. And then it's like light blue when the sun is more kind of right above you. And then it gets darker as the sun is coming up and going down. Then it's like kind of purple in a way. And then the next day, I was like, man, the sky looks pretty blue today. Be like, I know where he got that. Pretty obvious. Connect the dots, put 2 and 2 together. Dumb libs are eating up all this slop. It's so fucking condescending and hypocritical and self-righteous.
Hasan markets to Twitch watchers. Hasan isn't the fucking president or the governor of California. There should be an expected differential in how they carry themselves, for fuck's sake.
Okay, hang on a minute. Now I have to know. I don't even need to look it up. There's no way that this guy actually thinks that all politicians should be above the social media noise. There's just no way he believes that.
Like, what do you mean? He thinks he's really got something here, which is funny.
So stupid.
I think it's whack. I don't give a, just put the policies in the bag, little bro. You already know what it is.
Rashida Tlaib. It's probably a good one, yeah.
People do like it though. People are hella defending this shit in your sub. It's super disappointing. I just don't think it's that big of an issue. For the record, I don't think it's that big of an issue. Like, it's just.
This is cope. This is. They have to, bro. They have to try to pretend like Newsom's team isn't crushing it right now. They're just forced to, right? Like, there's no way they would ever say, actually, this is really good strategy. And, he's playing right into Democratic voters when they say they want the party to fight for them. Like, it's really savvy. It's smart. It's like pretty funny. Like, they can't bring themselves to say that because they've been putting all their eggs in Mamdani's basket recently. Like, Mamdani to them is like, that's the future of the party. That's obviously the future of the party. And so when Newsom comes along and I can't think of a better, there's no way he could have executed this better. Like, his social media team in conjunction with his stuff with the California legislature and the amendment, there's just, I can't think of a better, this has been a really good month for Newsom. Just the stars just perfectly aligned. Fucking full on cope right now, guys. Zohran Mamdani performs well in a split field against 2 scandal-plagued dinosaurs in the Democratic Party, and he's turning that into this guy's the future of the party. Never mind the fact that he's down 11 points nationally and down like 14 points in the state of New York. But then,
yeah, because the Democrats haven't embraced him, even though he won one of the biggest mayoral.
There it is. The reason why Mamdani is not popular is because it's actually because of the Democrats. Because it's the Democrats' fault.
Elections or mayoral primaries, like in the country, you haven't seen the sort of institutional support catch on for him yet. The reason why people are pointing to him is because, one, whoever the mayor is usually like a potential future star for the party or for politics in general. It's not always the case, but it can be, and it has been. That's one. But 2, he's running on policies.
What are the more recent? Is it like Rudy Giuliani? Like, who are we talking about? We'll do the last 10 mayors. Okay. 10 to 12, whatever this is. William O'Dwyer, Vincent Impellitteri, Robert Wagner, John B. Lindsay, Abraham D. Beam, Edward I. Koch, David N. Dinkins, Rudy Giuliani, Michael Bloomberg, Bill de Blasio, Eric Adams. Okay.
Likability or for politics in general. Yeah. The reason why people are pointing to him is because, one, whoever the mayor is usually like a potential future star for the party or for politics in general. It's not always the case, but it can be.
That has not happened in recent history, like going back decades. Like de Blasio, I mean, come on. Like, yeah.
And it has been. That's one. But 2, he's running on policies. Likability.
That is never the case. That is just a made up point. Like, I don't know where he got this talking point from. Like, well, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes the New York City mayor, they become like the leader of the party. I can't find an example of that happening going back to 1950. I don't know where the fuck he got that point from.
And policies. But it can be, and it has been. That's one. But 2, he's running on policies. Likability and policies. I think AOC finally did give an endorsement. I think Bernie has as well. I don't even really care big picture because the whole point is trying to get people that are in prominent positions in the party, like Hakeem Jeffries and shit, to say that they endorse this guy. The difference between a Newsom and a Mamdani isn't the joie de vivre or the Riz or whatever. They both have like their lib versus like democratic socialist flavor of like being chock full of the Riz for their target audiences. The difference between the two and why somebody should be stoked over a Mamdani and not fucking giving 2 shits about a Newsom is because Mamdani is saying, hey, I want to make your life better. I want to make it so that you can afford to get back and forth to work, so that you can afford your rent, so that your groceries are cheaper. Newsom is saying like, hey, look at this AI dog shit I put together. See, look how I'm just like Trump, but with no.
He's not even going to mention, like, Newsom has been very active as a governor. He's signed a lot of bills into law.
End goal beyond this redistricting thing, which doesn't have any signs of where it ends. No one's spoken to like when the pullout point is, which I think is problematic. But at this point, it's out of the box. Like the Pandora's box has been opened.
When like he's kind of trying to play both sides of the fence there. Like he's trying to do his like principled anti-gerrymandering take and then meld it with the logic of just, well, we can't just let them do that unilaterally. That's just there's no way we can just let them do that, right? Gavin Newsom does something that is sucking the oxygen out of every fucking news story right now. He is dominating news coverage right now. Everyone is talking about Newsom right now. He is talking about Newsom right now. And Newsom is Ogreboy's talking about Newsom right now. You know what I mean? Like literally everyone is talking about Gavin Newsom. Even if you hate the guy, you have to admit, like, bro, if it was my goal to raise my national profile, to raise my name recognition across the country, if that was my goal, and then these were the results that were yielded from my efforts, that's like an A+. Just how could even if you hate Newsom, how could you argue otherwise? Like, this is one of those situations where you just got to hand it to Newsom because it's like, I don't have any notes. I don't know how I don't know how this could have possibly gone better if that was your goal. Rapidly rising in the 2028 primary polls. And he's just like, I don't think it's a big deal. It's like, whatever. It's like these fucking cringe.
No, sure. It would be great if a Republican doesn't get in. Yeah, I'll say that now. That should be the goal, is to not have a Republican in. But it's not anything to get your dick hard over if you're seeing somebody that doesn't already have a track record of trying to push things to make shit better.
He fucking does. You live in California, bro. I don't even know what to tell you here.
Like, there's nothing about Newsom that makes me stand out and go, oh yeah, he's been advocating for like cheaper rent for people for over a decade, and he's got a proven track record for fighting for people. Nope. It's like Hasan said, the only memorable thing about him is him trying to clear out like homeless and.
Bro, they just passed a fucking enormous YIMBY bill 2 months ago that will lower rent. It's gonna happen.
Encampments and shit. That doesn't scream man of the people.
Libs, these dummy cringe libs, they fall for this shit. Not me though. I'm sophisticated and I just don't think it's a big deal. They're unironically being like, Zoran is a leader of the party now, and it's like very clearly Gavin Newsom is like rising to that position.
But notice so far, here's the issue with this guy versus this guy, right? And if you don't like him, we'll just draw a big X over him for the time being. Fuck him. Fuck this guy. Who cares?
Damn, don't say that about him. What the fuck?
Far has been like, this guy's like, a lot of people are talking about him and he's pretty popular, but not saying why. Not saying.
I think I get into that at some point, but I could be wrong.
What he's going to do, what he plans on delivering, how he's going to fix something or make anything any better for you, for me, for anybody else. He's just doing a fucking PR stunt with this redistricting vote. But in essence,
26 measures that pertain to public safety, housing, healthcare, and consumer rights have been signed by Gavin Newsom. These actions come amid a year of fierce policy discussions and constrained funds. Housing and infrastructure, building faster and adding supply. Housing continues to dominate state policy because high rents and limited supply affect almost every community. My voice is getting kind of hoarse. Several of the new laws are tied to the budget and focus on building more homes and infrastructure with less delay. In particular, the state expanded exemptions from lengthy environmental reviews and many infill housing and key infrastructure projects. The goal is simple: make it easier to build in areas that already have roads, transit, and services while maintaining core environmental protections. Other bills have focused on healthcare and safety net, protecting access and household stability. The new laws also protect access to health coverage and in-home support for low-income seniors and people with disabilities. Advocacy from members of the California delegation emphasized keeping Medi-Cal accessible by avoiding a return to a strict asset test and by preserving overtime for in-home support workers. The final budget and related bills reflect those priorities. For many families, this means fewer sudden coverage losses and more stable care. Safer streets and stronger enforcement. They're not going to like this one. Retail theft and property crime remain a significant public concern. New provisions give law enforcement additional tools to address organized theft, including clearer thresholds and easier coordination. digital life and consumer privacy, clearer choice and stronger rights. California continues to set standards for the digital marketplace. One focus this year is clarity for subscriptions and online services. Companies must obtain affirmative consent before auto renewals and provide straightforward cancellation methods. My goodness, that's only just a part of the pie here. I look up something from the Press Democrat. Nice. This used to be tougher penalties for damaging retail theft. Protect actors from being exploited by AI-generated content. Crack down on AI-created political deepfakes. It's pretty funny, considering the recent developments. Enforce affordable housing laws. Governor Newsom signed a total of 32 housing proposals. September 19th, centered on affordable housing in the state. One law, SB 423, will allow the state to penalize cities and counties who are failing to build the required amount of affordable housing and homeless shelters. The state will also require those cities and counties to streamline those affordable housing projects, the governor's office said in a news release. End single-family zoning. This is another like hugely YIMBY thing. That will help low-income families get housing. Exactly the thing. He's like, what are you actually doing for people? All you're doing is mocking Donald Trump. It's like, bro, are you evaluating the merits of Gavin Newsom as a political candidate based on his fucking Twitter feed and nothing else? Like, we're not going to even talk about the things that he's actually done. Like, what level of analysis is that? End single-family zoning. Governor Newsom signed SB 450 on September 19th, which makes it easier for homeowners to split their homes up into as many as 4 separate units by requiring local governments to drop certain zoning restrictions and approve applications quickly. That's a big deal for low-income families, by the way. If we can build more multi-family units, build more tiny homes. Governor Newsom signed SB 1395 on September 19th, which will make it easier for cities to build tiny homes for homeless residents by removing bureaucratic red tape from the process. There was one about limit addictive social media feeds for kids. We love that. Fucking Taylor Lorenz is malding right now. Governor Newsom signed SB 976 on September 2020, which prohibits internet service and applications from providing addictive feeds as defined as media curated based on information gathered on or provided by the user to minors without parental consent. The bill takes effect in 2027. They're going to call that censorship, by the way. Have you guys noticed that? I think England passed some bill or passed some law about taking social media away from kids. And like the left was like, they're trying to censor the stuff on Gaza. Bans plastic shopping bags. Don't care about that. Restrict student smartphones at school. We love that. Enhancing penalties for sideshows, which I guess that's like street racing. Requirement to teach segregation case in California schools. He did changes to campaign laws. Alzheimer's care. Governor Newsom signed SB 639 on September 21st, which requires healthcare professionals who provide care for people 65 and older to take continuing education in geriatrics and dementia care. Policing people with autism and dementia. Governor Newsom signed AB 2541 on September 21st, which requires law enforcement to have training on preventing and responding to wandering by people with Alzheimer's, autism, and dementia. The law will be in effect in 2026. Here's a gun control bill. Governor Newsom signed more than 20 bills into law on September 24th to bolster California's nation-leading gun laws. According to news release, the laws include SB 1002, which will expand the court's ability to prohibit people who are deemed a danger to themselves and others from owning firearms and ammunition. Protecting migrant farm worker housing. Governor Newsom signed AB 2240 on September 24th, instructing the state to explore keeping open year-round its 24 migrant farm worker housing complexes. Currently, farm workers are required to leave their housing annually. The analysis must happen by January 1st, 2027. scrub medical debt from credit reports. Governor Newsom signed SB 1061 on September 24th, which will keep medical debt off credit reports. No Californian should be unable to secure housing, a loan, or even a job because they accessed necessary medical care, said Senator Monique Limon. Eviction protections for tenants. Governor Newsom signed AB 234. Guys, this is just this year. You guys understand that? We're talking about a flurry of bills that he just signed. Oh, I'm sorry, was this last year? That was just last year. That was just like in one week span. Just a flurry of bills that he signed into law. He signed AB 2347 on September 25th, which gives tenants twice as much time to respond to eviction notices from 5 to 10 business days. The law takes effect January 1st, 2025. Governor Newsom signed AB 3233 on September 25th, which allows cities, counties, and local voters to block construction of new oil and gas wells in their communities. Online subscription protections give doxing victims the right to sue. Wait a second. Hang on a minute. Governor Newsom signed AB 1979 on September 25th, which will allow residents who have had their information online shared with the intent to harm them to sue their attackers in civil court for damages as much as $30,000. The bill must take effect by January 1st, 2026. Damn. Increased penalty for soliciting minors. Governor Newsom signed SB 1414 on September 26th, which raises the penalty for soliciting and buying sex from minors under 16 from a misdemeanor to a felony. The law takes effect January 1st. A bill that requires the state to teach state history of Native Americans. Require Narcan in the workplace. That's kind of a big deal too. This was just like a flurry of bills from 1 week in September. And it took me 2 seconds to Google that. And this guy's like, what are you actually doing for people? Like, is it a rhetorical question? Like, if you ask the question, do you not get curious to fucking do a Google search or a Bing search, whatever you want to use? I don't understand that people. I don't understand people who do this kind of analysis. Like, just like there's no curiosity there to just fucking Google it for 2 seconds. Blows my mind. What are you actually doing for people? Fucking look at his track record, bro. Like, it's not that hard.
Be honest, for anybody else, okay? Not saying what he's gonna do, what he plans on delivering, how he's gonna fix something or make anything any better for you, for me, for anybody else. He's just doing a fucking PR stunt with this redistricting vote. But in essence, if we're being honest, it's something that at the end goal ends up diminishing like the vote of Republican citizens in that state is all that it ends up doing.
What a way to, bro, my head is spinning right now. Fucking 2 minutes ago, you were saying how this is kind of necessary. That's what you were just kind of saying. Just 2 minutes ago, you were like, well, you know, we can't, like, he acknowledged that it was kind of necessary what it's doing. And now he's like, well, we're just taking votes away from Republicans. Well, this is like, no shit. Like, what do you think this is all about?
It makes that at the end goal ends up diminishing like the vote of Republican citizens in that state. I mean, all that it ends up doing. It makes it so they don't have as much punch. It makes it so that it's electoral college at the district level. That's what this is. So do I think Republicans are bad? Yeah. But do I think we should hand them something that's so obvious that as to give them like conspiracy fuel to be like, see, the Democrats are trying to take away our vote?
Oh my God. How does anybody watch this? Someone explain this to me. Now I'm getting pissed. How the fuck does anybody watch this? Why would anybody tune into the stream to listen to anything this man says? He debate broed himself into taking a position that contradicted something he said 5 minutes prior because he doesn't want to indulge my point, which is that Newsom is fucking crushing it right now. So he fucking debate broed himself into saying, well, actually, you know, it's bad that we're disenfranchising Republican voters. Yeah, there's some irony there. Like, how can anyone watch this as I react to his video? I don't know how much more stamina I have left in me. This is fucking ridiculous.
No. And don't get me wrong, I understand Republicans did it first, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. That's not what I'm saying. But that's not how any of them are going to look at it. You have a party that goes out of their way to
Guys, we can't amend the state constitution to counteract Texas's gerrymander because it'll give the conspiracy theorists too much fodder. Guys, actually what Newsom is doing is a tactical miscalculation, because then the conspiracy theorists are going to say that, you know, we're trying to like rig the election. That's why we can't do it. Really? That's what you're going with?
Hug, kiss, suck, and fondle any Republican that's just willing to say Trump bad. But now you're taking a lot of those same people and turning around and making it so their vote means less in the biggest state in the country, the third largest economy in the world, or whatever it is for California.
Fourth.
Some ridiculous high level fucking statistic like that.
Get it right.
So which is it? Like you're at odds with how the parties behave versus what they're trying to do now in this moment with no end game.
Like, what do you mean there's no end game, bro? We have bills. We literally have bills that if we elected a trifecta in 2028 that had like a veto proof or a filibuster proof majority, we would pass a bill like right then and there to end partisan gerrymandering with no Democratic defections. What do you mean there's no plan? What do you mean? Like, how are you unaware of the legislation that they tried to pass in 2021? You just don't, like, we're just not going to talk about that? Like, quickly, it's happening right before our eyes.
So when people turn around and make it seem like this is the most successful form of resistance against Donald Trump, that's when I take issue with it. This is born out of the desperation.
Mind you, this is coming from a guy that didn't even endorse
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Kamala Harris in 2024.
Form of resistance against Donald Trump.
That's going to trigger Ogreboy. He's not going to like that one.
That's when I take issue with it. This is born out of the desperation.
Mind you, this is coming from the guy that didn't even endorse Kamala Harris in 2024, but he's condescendingly like dismissing.
Yeah, how about she not fucking
How about she not do a genocide? Hello, as vice president who does not set foreign policy whatsoever. Why didn't she, in her position as vice president, do something that she did not have the power to do, which is like change American foreign policy? Like, have you considered that she shouldn't have done a genocide?
willingly go along with civilians getting killed and still basically say she's not going to do anything different from the person she served under? Like, he finally said the other week, I should go back and make an effort to try to find it, or maybe it's in a VOD and he never ends up admitting it, but he admitted finally, it took him like 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. But he finally admitted that, like, Kamala made a lot of mistakes.
There was like, bro, do you guys remember post-election? Do you guys remember like first of all, the post-election vibes were not tight. That fucking sucked, bro. I don't know what was worse, election night or the following like 4 months. Both were pretty not tight, but the post-election vibes were very, very markedly not tight. And it was all everybody was talking about for 3 or 4 months straight. How many long, drawn-out conversations did we have on Live and Learn about all the myriad ways that Kamala could have run a better campaign? I mean, like, I defended her on a number of issues, and I still will to this day, but this idea that I never criticized her, really?
Kamala made a lot of mistakes and in turn didn't separate herself enough, which is what a lot of us were saying the night of the fucking election when it was obvious she lost. That was the thing.
We were saying that exact thing, like the next Live and Learn. Like, we were talking about these issues.
A lot of us were concerned about beforehand. We were saying that the course she was on, she was fucking up. And it turns out we were right.
No, why would anybody listen? A broken clock is right twice a day, okay? Why would anybody go to you guys for advice about winning elections? Who are you fooling here? We'll have that conversation amongst ourselves. Thank you very much, okay? And the good news about the Democratic Party and not just like the politicians, but in terms of like the people, the voters, the good news is like we can have those conversations, all right? We can have honest conversations about ways that Kamala could have run a better campaign. We can do that all on our own, but we do not need your input. Like, who are you to fucking lecture anyone for how to win elections? Like, what is this based off of?
And instead of learning something, they've decided to continue down the same fucking path.
Wait, if the conversation is amongst ourselves, then why do you care what he's saying right now? Because ourselves doesn't include him. He's not a part of the we. He's an opposition force. You understand? People like him and Hasan, they're not in the we. What are you talking about? We just watched a video last week of a week-long coverage of Hasan's streams, and it's just obvious what this guy's MO is. He just, the way that he talks about the Democratic Party, the way that Ogreboy talks about the Democratic, like they're not invited to the barbecue. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just nothing can get in there. Just nothing. Just pew, just bounces pew right off.
Newsom's current strategy. This is just a social media strategy, by the way. What Newsom has done right now, introducing this California amendment to redistrict early so we can counteract the gerrymander, that is like that's like the highest form of fighting the administration that a governor can do. Jesus, how often do I repeat myself on the streams, guys? Is that bad? I'll like pause the video and then I'll do a rant and I'll unpause and a fucking weak old me is saying the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got there eventually. Yeah. That's like the top. I mean, to be fair, in politics, you know, you do need to repeat yourself. That's kind of part of the game, right? What would you put above that in terms of like fighting Donald Trump besides Medicare for all? That's what he's going to say.
You could set forward some manner of social safety net policy that would work so well that it could be the template that you would in turn say that Trump was fucking up by not doing that at the federal level, and that's what you would do in turn.
He's right there. I'm right. Even if he doesn't say Medicare for all, like I'm right, you know?
The entire country, when and if you ran for president. This, in the meanwhile, this isn't, you're not.
Come on, say it. Say Medicare for all so I can do the fucking victory lap here. Come on.
Trump, you're inviting a fucking arms race. That's what this is. Like, and I'm not.
He did it. He did it. He debate broed himself into being against the amendment because he wants to oppose. He wants to disagree with the things that I'm saying. He did it. He literally did it. He fucking debate broed himself into contradicting himself from literally fucking 10 minutes ago. This guy is a fucking meme. Like, this guy's a meme personified. Think of the most ridiculous caricature of a leftist you could conceive of in your mind, and he fits the bill 100%.
It shouldn't be happening, but this should be arms.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be happening.
Like, you're inviting a fucking arms race. That's what this is. Like, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be happening.
Then shut the fuck up, bro. We either got to do what we got to do, or we don't, and we got to do this. So stop with the moralizing about it.
But this should be arm in arm with a lot of other simultaneous actions that should be happening. And you should say that you're doing this so in turn, we have the ability to make better things happen down the road. Or you should already be pointing to a bill that exists or that has been written or a politician that is in the midst of writing a bill so that you outlaw gerrymandering at the federal level. You say,
I'm going to fucking, I'm going to lose my mind. Hold on. We got to review that again.
That should be happening. And you should say that you're doing this so in turn, we have the ability to make better things happen down the road. Or you should already be pointing to a bill that exists or that has been written or a politician that is in the midst of writing a bill so that you outlaw gerrymandering at the federal level. You say that we're going to keep doing this.
This guy, his theory of politics is that Democrats should go up there and have these detailed, wonky policy discussions when we're 1 year removed from the next midterm and we're out of power. Like the playbook for that is so firmly established at this point. You're not going to tee up for a successful midterm election if you go out there and you just start talking about policies right now. The job of the party that's out of power is to just attack the party that's in power. Just keep attacking them over and over and over again. You can have policy discussions. That's fine. It's not like you never have those discussions. But the people that are out of power, they're just going to be spent every day they wake up. The whole goal is like, how can we make Donald Trump look bad? How can we make Republicans look bad? That's what you do when you're out of fucking power. You don't go around the country like doing wonky lectures about policy. Daz Vidani with $5. He's making the same argument that people make about the U.S. not getting involved in Ukraine because it will escalate with Russia. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Until let's say AOC wrote a fucking bill in the House. Until AOC's bill that radically changes how we district at the state level, until that bill gets passed, it's just a race to the bottom, and I want everybody to watch and pay attention.
Bro, AOC did not write that bill. You know who did? Establishment Democrats. Establishment Democrats wrote the fucking John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Like, it's just astonishing that he doesn't know this, that he can't think to like bring that up, I guess.
Because I'm not going to be the first blue state, and Lord knows that there's more red states that are lining up. We pick this route or we fix this once and for all so that voting is fair in this country. I haven't heard that rhetoric. That would be nice to hear.
Bro, how do you not know this? Seriously, how the fuck do you not know this, dude? How embarrassing is that? Sending in the California National Guard to do a fucking coup in DC or something like that.
That many Democrats feel and recognize that there is no voice that's like actually taking to task the Trump administration. That's what this is. You only arrive.
Again, it's coming from the guy that didn't even endorse Kamala in 2024, and now he has the nerve.
Kamala. Like, when do we get past this and admit that she fucked up? Walz admitted that they fucked up.
You don't. No, sorry. You don't get to complain that Democrats aren't doing enough to fight Trump when you didn't use your platform to do the bare minimum to like fight Trump, which would be to endorse her and to suggest that your audience of hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, go out there and support the only candidate that could have beat Trump. I'm sorry. You don't get to fucking complain about that. You didn't do the bare minimum and you want to complain. And the complaint itself is wrong. They are out there like trying to fight Trump in the only ways that they can, and they never get credit from these fucking idiots anyways.
Wall said that even though they had a better track record with the economy and things of that nature, and that even though what they were offering was going to end up helping people better than anything that Trump offered or followed through on, Walls admitted that the public at large chose Trump and that was their fault and they needed to figure that out. He's been the only person since the election that has called for any kind of self-reflection whatsoever. And obviously it hasn't happened. And you still have bitter little biscuits like this fucker down here that's like, well, if I had Hasan's audience, I could have saved my queen, which is total garbage. I have said it before.
I did not say that
before. I'll say it again, and I will say it 1,000 times as long as I still have air in this fucking stupid body of mine. If you need a streamer to explain how a candidate is going to be good for the country and to motivate people as to why they should turn out and vote for that candidate,
that's not the argument at all. What are you even talking about? No one's saying that.
Then the candidate fucked up. There are people that opted to not vote for her, that opted to stay on the couch, that don't know who Hutch is.
Yep. And you know what? Here we are. Okay. I mean, that's fine. People, look, I don't think we should start like demanding that people vote a certain way, or try to coerce them or force them or try to, threaten to imprison them. I think people should have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for or not vote if that's what they choose to do. Okay, here we are. Okay, these are the consequences of that, right?
Don't know who Hasan is. They damn sure don't know what a Destiny is other than like a video game that they gave up on several years ago. Like this bitterness that he has, this one directional bitterness because he didn't advocate for Kamala hard enough is fucking, it's so stupid.
He didn't advocate for Kamala, period. That's the point. He didn't do anything, period. Like there was no advocacy done, like whatsoever.
Yeah, no, dude, if Kamala would have gotten on like 3 more podcasts, she would have had it in the bag. She would have had the presidency in the bag, bro.
To be like, they're not doing enough. Go fuck yourself. All your fucking fans, all your viewers, lecturing Gavin Newsom, who's literally doing like the most that you could possibly do in this moment.
That there is no voice that's like actually taking to task
except for ending a genocide and doing Medicare for all.
Trump administration. That's what
there are so many voices in the Democratic Party like every fucking day.
Name them. You call yourself a Democratic fan and supporter? Name every Democrat
that's going out there and like talking about how bad the Trump administration is. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Jasmine Crocker, Chris Murphy, Adam Schiff, Bernie Sanders, AOC. Like what do you on social media and on legacy media?
Bro, they're tweeting so fucking hard.
It's not about just posting. How do you think politicians do outreach? Why are you dismissing the idea of doing like social media posts? Should they not be posting about Donald Trump is bad? Like we should just ignore social media, I guess.
There was a video. Fuck, I forgot. She's the very mom-coded lady that does like the 20-25 minute legal pieces. Blonde. She's a little heavyset, glasses. Lovely woman. She had a video that Hutch ended up reacting to.
Oh, damn! He called her thick. What's her name again? Fuck, I don't know. He called her thick, bro. Legia Miller, that's her name, yeah. Damn, bro. Better hope that doesn't get clipped. Are you body shaming?
Talking about grinding the gears. Talking about doing every administrative bull.
He said, who's that dummy thick blonde? That's what he said.
To slow down the works, to muck up government so that people would have time to react to what was going on. And Hutch said that could cause huge blowback and it would have big issues and it could backfire, and he didn't agree with it.
What are we talking about right now?
About grinding the gears. Talking about doing every administrative
yeah, I vaguely recall this
bullshit thing to slow down the works, to muck up government so that people would have time to react to what was going on. And Hutch said that could cause huge blowback and it would have big issues and it could backfire, and he didn't agree with it, didn't support it, even though it was completely legal in every respect.
I don't even know what when have I ever opposed procedural obstacles? When have I ever said that the Democrats shouldn't do some procedural obstacle? I don't know if I ever said that. There's no way I said that. I don't believe that.
Like making like
Maybe there was a particular thing that he was talking about. I don't
quorum
know.
calls and making sure that every last member of Congress was present. And if they were going to vote on anything, doing like a roll call vote, things that could turn a 20-minute decision into like a 2-hour decision.
I have never opposed this. There's no way I've ever opposed this.
Right? He's like, no, that's risky. It's risky, man.
That are doing the thing. Does he just make shit up? Is that what he does? He just makes shit up? Do people just do that? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. People that just make shit up that he's saying right now.
This is you only arrive.
Or there was that Booker, what the fuck is his name? The one that was married to or dating Rosario Dawson.
Is he pretending?
Booker? His fucking thing where he's popping off talking about
He pretending that he doesn't know Cory Booker's name? What are we doing here, bud? Come on. What are you doing here?
if you're coming for the police, you better.
Oh, he's one of those cringe libs. I can't think of his name off the top. You know, fucking everybody knows Cory Booker. Give me a break.
For me too, because this isn't the time to like. Who was that speech for? Like there's theatrics, but that's not. We're not asking for theatrics and like circus shit.
What the fuck? How many times can this guy contradict himself in a single video? On the one hand, he's saying that Legia Miller correctly diagnosed that the Democrats should use procedural rules to slow things down. To, as he said, grind things to a halt so that we can have more time to get out the word and talk about the bad things that they're doing. And then Cory Booker does the longest filibuster in the history of the fucking Senate, and he's over here like, but not that. Like, that's like one of the most extreme things that you can do, aside from leaving the state of Texas to prevent a quorum so that you can't do any business in the state legislature. You know, like apart from that, like doing the longest filibuster in the history of the Senate. Do you guys see what I'm like? He's just there's nothing principally grounding him except for just anti-libetry. That's all this is. It's just, I need whatever thing I'm talking about, I need to find a way to make it about like the liberals being bad. So in one breath, I'll say we should use procedural hurdles to slow things down. But then literally 2 seconds later, I'm going to say that Cory Booker doing the longest filibuster ever was bad. Like, what do we?
You better come for me too, because this isn't the time to. Cory Booker,
Oh wait, are we talking about something different?
Fucking thing where he's popping off talking about if you're coming for the police, you better come for me too.
Okay, never mind. That's my bad. He was talking about that recent like thing.
Because this isn't the time to like. Who was that speech for? Like there's theatrics, but that's not. We're not asking for theatrics and like circus shit. We want it tied to somebody that's trying to say, hey, this is how we would be doing better, and this is what we would be doing for you. Politics is entirely.
There's never, so like according to his theory of politics, you can never be purely offensive in a moment. So if Donald Trump does something bad, you have to tie it back to policy somehow. So Donald Trump, you know, refuses to release the Epstein files. He's saying that the only way that you should attack Donald Trump is to be like, Donald Trump is refusing to release the Epstein files, and he's protecting pedophiles, and is really fucked up, and he said he was going to be transparent. And then also, we're going to do Medicare for all, I guess. So like, you have to, like, you can never just play offense. Like, it has to be a policy discussion, which is the dumbest advice for American politics that I've fucking ever heard in my life. What indication is there out in the electorate that the starving masses are yearning for wonky policy discussions in every conversation you have about politics?
Transactional. We're asking for where the transactional policies that are going to motivate people. Where the fuck are those? All this other kabuki shit where you're AI generating tweets to look at like Trump's is like it's fucking pointless if you don't have an end game involved, and this doesn't have an end game.
This conclusion that like, oh, these kinds of.
Well, I mean, the end game is to stop Republicans from picking up 5 seats in the House, and then for his own cynical purposes, the end game is the presidency in 2028. What do you want me to?
Moves are so good because like at least they're fighting back when no one else is fighting back. I don't necessarily care one way or the other.
Did you help us fight back in November? Besides your fucking single vote in California, did you use your platform, your massive fucking platform that most people would kill to have?
There it is. There it is. Hold on.
Use your platform, your massive fucking platform that most people would kill to have in California? Did you use your platform, your massive fucking platform that most people would kill to have?
That's the reason for all this. That's what it is. I'm telling you right now. He just thinks that if he had 30,000 concurrent viewers every day,
oh my God, bro. That's not what this is at all, bro. That's not. It has nothing to do with this. All right.
And that we would be living in space age utopia right now, which is just so fucking cope. It is so absolutely out of this world fucking delusional bullshit. Especially when, at the end of the day, look.
If this was about clout, if this was about numbers, why have you not seen me attach myself like a barnacle to people that are way more successful than I am? Like, I've been in the game and I've swam in different circles. I'm connected socially to politics, social media, and I'm also connected massively to gaming stuff. I can't even tell you how many fucking like multi-millionaire friends that I have in the gaming space. How come I did not like attach myself like a fucking barnacle to CNanners? Why did I like just stop doing fucking Garry's Mod videos? Like, why did I not, as aggressively as Hasan did with Destiny? Why was I not going on Hasan?
Fuck you, Nanners! Fuck!
Why was I not like, I think I had perms to go in fucking Destiny's Discord. Pretty sure at some point he gave me perms. I could have gone into his Discord literally every single day when he was streaming to try to like expand my audience doing that. Why didn't I do that? When Hasan was coming up, when we were still friendly, he went from like a 3K Andy to like a fucking 20K Andy when we were still friendly. Why didn't I try to go on his streams like all the time? I didn't do that. Hasan did. I didn't fucking do that. I didn't fucking do that. If it was about just numbers, it was just a numbers game. Why didn't I do that? I still might have maybe. I have no idea. I haven't gone in Destiny's Reddit or Discord in many months.
If you had a circumstance where you had a candidate that was so grossly not listening to the people and participating in events that were so grotesque to you, how fucking big smiley face tap dance bullshit are you supposed to be when you're trying to tell people how they should vote? What are you supposed to be doing? Like, that's the other thing.
Here we are, you know, like here we are, right?
It's like shrug your shoulders, lesser of two evils. I guess I'll vote. That's not good enough for him. That's not good enough for old Hutchy the Hutch here. So ultimately, what are you supposed to do? Like, the best that I think anybody could have hoped for.
Hutchy the Hutch. Wait, damn, this guy's deep in the lore. That was like my Xbox gamer tag, I think. How the fuck does he know about that? Is it my Discord name? He's fucking deep in the lore, bro. If he knows Hutchy the Hutch, most of you guys probably don't even know that. If you ask a lot of different people, they would tell you that I was wildly financially irresponsible for not clout chasing more when I could have. I'm sure you could find some people in my audience that was like, bro, that was stupid. Why didn't you go all in with the Hector and the optic stuff? Like, why didn't you try to milk that for every fucking penny that you could? Why are you not like bugging Ethan to let you on his podcast every fucking day? Like, people tell me I need to clout chase more, bro.
So this is titled "Why You Should Not Vote for Jill Stein, Especially Donald Trump." He did segments on his show where he talked about all the shit that Trump did, all the reasons why Stein was a fuck.
If he's doing all these dog whistles to try to guide people to vote for Kamala, then number one, he knows that Kamala is the clear better choice. And number two, it's a fucking half measure at that point. Just come out and say, like, the reason why he didn't come out and say, I think you should vote for Kamala Harris is because he knew about fucking 75% of his audience would call him a genocide supporter if he did that. He's so audience captured that he didn't do a thing that you're alleging that he was doing, like kind of dog whistly kind of stuff to get people to vote for Kamala. Why didn't you just come out and fucking say it? Why didn't you just say it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't he fucking say it? Oh, is it my Discord name? Okay, never mind.
Grifter. He's never shied away from making those sorts of statements or trying to let the world know why this is the reality, this is the landscape, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. If you give a fuck, and I can already tell you that Hutch doesn't, but if you give a fuck about Gaza, you're already in a position where you're like, fuck this administration, fuck Biden, fuck Harris. Okay? You're not going to.
If you gave a fuck about Gaza, why did you not? How could you not know that the situation would have gotten worse with Donald Trump? What other things would he have had to say? Would he have had to have said to get people to understand how much worse he would be? Like, the second you heard him say, Israel's just got to go in and finish the job. They got to finish the job. I'm not going to tell Israel how to do anything. They just got to do it. Whatever they need to do, they just got to do it. Like the second he said that, why didn't you not know? Like, like you claim to care about Gaza? Like really? Like really? How much could you care about Gaza if you just ignored the threat of that? You know? And now, well, here we are, right? Like, semi-decent chance that they find a way to just push Palestinians into Jordan and Egypt and just take over Gaza. Seems semi-likely to happen in the next couple of years. And when that happens, I swear to you on everything that is holy, we're going to have a clip of Hasan saying, we don't know if Kamala would have done the same thing. He's going to say that when it happens.
Turn around with a big smiley face after trying to get attention for this cause. And the fact that Biden was fast tracking weapons to Gaza or to Israel to use.
Yeah, he's giving the whole game away right here. Yeah.
At different points in his administration.
He's basically backing up what I said. Like if Hasan would have told people like, look, I don't like Kamala, but we should all vote for her because Trump is going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. And he couldn't do that because his own audience would have fucking devoured him for doing that. For the record, there would be like 15, bad empanada videos in a single week about it.
You're not going to get people to go, oh, let me march off to the polls, and you're not going to get them to take him seriously if he's singing Kamala's praises with a big fucking toothy grin. It's not going to happen. But if you show why the other ones are fucked, and you have that sort of what would be the other? There was another really good one, like the opening. This is the one that fucking Dan uses all the time.
We don't know if Kamala would have done the same thing. You'll find it. Dan literally tweets it every day. How do you not? He literally tweets.
Like if you go, told you this, why she fucking lost. Or,
literally just go to Dan's Twitter feed. He literally tweets it every fucking day.
Trump and that's insane. What do you want?
Does he just not want to go to Dan's Twitter feed? Is that what he's done?
Whatever.
Did you use that platform to like fight against Donald Trump and this fascist uprising in this country?
Yeah.
Like a year later, you're over here lecturing people? How are you in a position to lecture? Like, give me a fucking break.
The thing I love about this is that you have the ability, as long as you never show anything to the contrary to your own viewers, you get to stand on a fucking high horse.
As I'm reacting to a Hasan video. All right, I'm done. I've had enough. I've had enough. Yeah. Anyone who regularly tunes into the streams, you'll know that I never feature anybody else's voice on my channel. Nope. I fire up the stream and it's just 6 hours of shit in my pants and fucking peeing sideways. That's all it is. Never any voices contrary to my own on this channel.